Some people can leave things unfinished and move on easily. But other people, they can't. If something feels incomplete, messy, or imperfect, their mind keeps thinking about it. They rewrite messages. They overcheck small mistakes. They fix tiny details that nobody else even notices. And no matter how much they do, it never feels good enough. From the outside, these people look disciplined, organized, responsible, maybe even successful. But inside, most of them are exhausted because trying to keep everything perfect is mentally draining. And the strange part is, most perfectionists don't even realize why they're like this. They think, I just have high standards. But usually, it goes much deeper than that. Perfectionism is rarely about perfection. It's usually about fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of disappointing people, fear of not being enough. And once you understand that, a lot of perfectionists suddenly make sense. Because people who always try to keep everything perfect usually grew up feeling like mistakes were dangerous. Maybe they got criticized too much. Maybe they were praised only when they performed well. Maybe they learned that love, attention, or approval had to be earned. So now, their brain connects perfection with safety. If everything is perfect, they feel safe. If they make mistakes, their brain feels threatened. And that's why small imperfections feel emotionally heavy to them. A tiny mistake in a message, a bad presentation, one awkward interaction, one failure. Most people move on quickly, but perfectionists, their brain keeps replaying it again and again and again. Because in their mind, mistakes don't just feel uncomfortable, they feel personal. And over time, this creates a very exhausting cycle. They over-prepare, overthink, overanalyze. Not because they want attention, but because their brain is trying to avoid pain. And honestly, at first, being a perfectionist can look like a good thing. You work harder, you notice details, you push yourself more than other people. But eventually, it starts destroying your peace. Because perfection is impossible. And when your happiness depends on perfection, you never fully relax. Even after finishing something, your brain keeps finding flaws. This could have been better. I should have done more. I could have said that differently. And because of that, perfectionists often struggle to enjoy their own success. They achieve something, and instead of feeling proud, their brain immediately focuses on what's still wrong. That's why a lot of perfectionists secretly feel tired all the time. Their body rests, but their mind never does. And the saddest part? Most people admire perfectionists without seeing the pressure they live under. Because perfectionists usually hide their stress very well. They smile, they stay productive, they look put together. But internally, their brain is constantly carrying pressure. Pressure to do more, pressure to avoid mistakes, pressure to never disappoint anyone. And after a while, they stop living peacefully. They start living carefully. Every decision becomes heavy. Every mistake feels bigger than it really is. And slowly, their mind becomes a place where nothing ever feels enough. So how do you break this cycle? Not by becoming careless, and not by lowering your standards completely, but by realizing something important. Your worth was never supposed to depend on perfection. Because no matter how perfect you try to become, your brain will always move the finish line. That's what perfectionism does. It convinces you that peace comes after perfection. But peace never comes, because perfect is always changing. And eventually, you realize something. The people who look the calmest in life are usually not the people who do everything perfectly. They're the people who stopped punishing themselves for being human. So if you're someone who always tries to keep everything perfect, pause for a second. Ask yourself honestly, am I doing this to grow, or am I doing this to finally feel enough? Because those are two very different things. And maybe you don't actually need a perfect life. Maybe you just need a mind that finally feels safe enough to make mistakes. And once that happens, for the first time in a long time, you can finally breathe.